Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Everybody together. Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna. Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna कलियुगपावन हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Welcome all of you for this evening session on Carve Your Destiny. So you are the sculptor of your own destiny, and you will learn today you can be a very efficient sculptor to be able to carve your bright future. In this world, some people are of the opinion that if you think you can win, you can win. Correct? Now there is a book also about it. If you think you can win, you can win. But you oftentimes you see that even though you may think you can win, many times people don't win simply by thinking, I'll win. You have to put in efforts also, is it not true? Is it simply by thinking and imagining you can win? But can efforts alone bring success? Hmm. Some people say 99% perspiration, 1% inspiration. They say, okay, you had 99% perspiration, hmm, hard work. And those people actually give more importance to hard work. So their slogan is work hard and enjoy. That's what they say. Huh? You work hard and then you crack the exam and then you enjoy the bright results in future. And there are other people who say, oh, it's not only by working hard, you also need inspiration and enthusiasm, motivation. All these things are required. Otherwise, how can you blindly work hard? Huh? So therefore, even if you have inspiration also, even if you have hard work also, can you attain success if you see in this world? For example, in a IIT JEE examination, you all know that although there are many people working very hard, several lakhs of people, only a few get into NITs and IITs, correct now? In fact, even before you prepare for IIT JEE, there is a kind of mock test based on which they can tell you whether it is worthy for you to go in that direction or not, correct now? That means the tuition centers are able to make some assessment of your IQ level and suggest you what would be good for you, correct now? What you could aspire for. In those days, there were AIEEE and IIT JEE, both were there. So they will tell you do AIEEE and you do IIT JEE, correct now? They have been saying that it is not to discourage the student, it is to facilitate the student to choose a direction according to his capacity. Everybody has a different capacity, and this is understandable. How many of you are confident about what you're saying? You're clear about it? You agree with what I say? Correct, no? What I'm saying is not an imagination, it's happening in the outside world, correct? When you go to tuition centers, they check you with a test and accordingly they absorb you. So we find that not by effort alone can make people make it. It's called as actually karmavad, we call it. Karmavad means work hard and you enjoy. So the Western world, people think like that. If you work hard, you can make it. Whatever you want, you can get it simply by hard work. But in this world, even those who work very hard and those who perspire a lot, they are found to be economically struggling, some people. On the other hand, you find somebody like, say, Hinduja's family, 47,000 crores. Reliance company, 20,000 crores. Imagine the child is born in their family. They're born with a silver spoon, isn't it? There was one Mr. Modi, Modi Xerox, you know that? In his family, in Prabhupada talks about it, he actually had thousands of people working under him. But he himself did not know how to sign also. He would put this, stamp only. He didn't even graduate from the college, but he had a very big business, family business, in which he was flourishing. Here's an example of somebody who is born with a silver spoon, we call it. That means as soon as the child opened the eyes, he found, I have how much in my account? 47,000 crores. What I am saying, is it true or not? What do you think? Yeah, it's true. Yeah. There are families like that, thousands of crores. On the other hand, somebody is born and then imagine by working hard, you can also become a multi-millionaire, if somebody says. Can everybody become millionaire by working very hard? Think about it. Therefore, in today's talk, you will clearly come to understand where is the secret of success, or is things destined. So, this is called as karmavad, I told you just now. There's another thing called as daivavad. Daivavad means completely putting the blame on destiny. Everything is written in destiny, and all the people are moving like machines guided by their destiny, and they have no freedom at all. Like you go to a government office, in the chair, instead of the man sitting, his coat is sitting there. Sometimes he puts his coat, you've seen that? He goes for drinking chai. So you are waiting there 2 hours, 3 hours, then the fellow comes back. You ask him, hey, I submitted a file. What happened to the work? You know what he will say? Jab hona tab hoga. Whenever it has to happen. Then you ask him, but when will it happen? He say, when your good luck comes. When the time comes, it will happen. Maybe after 6 months. This is called as red tape, we call it. Red tape means postponing. Always. So this is another category of people. They just push the blame on destiny for everything they get, and they feel disempowered. They feel themselves weak. They feel we are like play toys in the hands of destiny. So this is another extreme end of the pendulum. One extreme end of the pendulum says, work hard and get whatever you want. Another extreme end says, everything is written. Whatever is written, your takdir mein jo ho wahi milega. Everything is destined. You have no power. You just accept what comes your way. Like that people say. Actually, Shastras don't accept either of this. In the Bhagavad Gita and in Srimad Bhagavatam also you will find Shastras say a combination of these two. Shastras say that you do your part, God will do his part. It's a combination of two. For example, you sow the seed and God gives rains. By the combination of your effort and God's grace, then you can have the crops and you can have the wheat or rice or mangoes or whatever. Correct, no? It's a combination of both. So one should not be lazy and saying that whatever is written in my fate, it will come. Even if something is written in your fate, it will not come unless you make a little effort. For example, for a bird in the early morning, when the bird gets up, chon 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 chon, is making sound. Where is my food? So he has to fly a kilometer distance, and then there is abundant fruits available, and he can pick up some fruits and bring it back to the nest and give it to the children and the family members, and it can also eat. So the fruit is destined for him. But to get that destined fruit, he has to do little work. But with little work, he can get it. He doesn't have to do too much work. But at least little work he has to do. For example, even a boy who completes his college days and then he takes up a job, he gets placed in the final year. Now, if he works 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, then whatever you get is already allotted in your destiny. But if you increase the number of hours, make it 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours, will you earn more money or not? You will earn more money, but that money will be taken away. It will not stay with you if it is not destined for you. Correct, no? But you work average, like a normal man, 8 hours, 10 hours, max 10 hours you work. And then you're getting some money that is there in your destiny. Like one boy was working 10 hours. He was getting 40,000. Company told him, if you work 2 more hours, we'll make it 45. And then they made it 45. Then they said, if you work 2 more hours, we'll make it 50. Round figure. We'll make it round. What do you say? He agreed. So 14 hours he worked. Within a month, he started getting stiff neck pain, back pain, and all that. He went to the doctor. Doctor said, oh, you have stress. Too much of stress working in the computer all day. So they said, you have to take some treatment. And for the treatment, every month he has to give 10,000 rupees for the treatment. So did he gain anything? No, he gained. What did he gain? Pain. That's all he gained. Isn't it? So too much hard work if you do, all you gain is only pain. Yes, you gain pain. That's all you get. So therefore, in this world, you should not be lazy. Laziness is condemned in Bhagavad Gita also by Krishna. Krishna doesn't tell Arjuna, Arjuna, here is a chariot. I am riding the chariot. Beta, you go to sleep and I will fight the battle and bring you victory. Did Krishna say that? No. Krishna said, I will only give you advice. And who will take the initiative to fight the battle? That Arjuna should do. So very clearly Krishna makes this point. My guidance and your action. So Krishna is a advisor or actor? Advisor. Arjuna is advisor or actor? Actor. So he has to act his part. Krishna will give his part, advice part. But by Krishna's guidance, Arjuna will win the battle. That's possible. It is said in the Niti that even if a lion in the forest is sitting idling, in the forest with open mouth, hoping that some deer will go into my mouth, do you think deer will automatically go? No. Deer will run away. So actually, unless he gets up and runs behind the deer, he's not going to get. So therefore, it is said that effort must be done. Without effort, nobody can survive in this world. But little effort is good enough for our survival. Sometimes people work so hard. One mobile company I had gone, they asked me to give a seminar on stress management. So dozen top managers were sitting in a circle. So when I began my lecture, all the mobiles, they were all getting calls. Tick, 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 tick. I told them, sir, at least for 1 hour during the lecture, keep your mobiles Silent, keep it aside. I said, they said, no, no, a lot of activities there, and Swamiji, can you finish it in half an hour? They were saying. See, you want to relieve your stress, but you want to quickly relieve stress. That quickness is your problem. Like one fellow went to doctor and said, doctor, can you arrange for a quick weight loss program? Doctor said, see, your weight is itself because of too much stress. So first you have to slow down first. But you quickly want to lose your weight. How can you do that? So then I asked them, why are you working so hard? 16 hours, 17 hours. Why are you working? One fellow said, Papi pet ka sawal hai, he was telling, we have to work hard for our belly. I said, really? Honestly, tell me, is it true? Another fellow said, no, no, it's not true. Actually, other fellow said, if you really want only food and survival, even in 10 hours, 8 hours, you can earn the survival. But that fellow said, we are working hard. Why? Because others are working hard. When we see them, then we also get tension. Hey, he's working so hard, so I also have to work hard. Then I asked him, why that fellow is working hard? He is working hard because seeing us working hard, he is also working hard. It's like the story. I mean, once a husband and wife are going in a car, The wife saw this car was going, one fellow overtook the car and went ahead. And the wife looked at the husband and said, look at you and look at him, how he overtook you. What kind of driving are you doing? Husband said, you don't know how I drive really? I will show you my speed now. And then he started tailgating the car very, very fastly. They were going very fast. And after long distance, at last the husband could overtake the car. And then looked at the driver, say, I have come equal to you now. And then he went ahead also. Then he asked his wife, what do you say now? You understood who is your husband? And am I smart or am I foolish? Tell me. Husband asked. Wife thought for a minute and said, you are both, she said. You are foolish also and smart also. He asked why? Because she said 20 kilometers before we are supposed to take a left turn. She said, you have come so far. Like that she said. You understand? In the same manner, modern man works very hard. After working very hard, you ask him, why are you working hard? I asked those mobile company people, why are you working so hard? They said, we want to earn money. Okay, after earning money, what do you want to do? We want to enjoy life. Then I asked them, when will you enjoy life? And they were looking at each other and said, that's what we are also wondering. They said, because we don't have time to enjoy. We are only, right now, what are we doing? 16, 17 hours we are working, and right now we are in a saving mode. We're taking money and saving. Then I asked, when will you enjoy? They said, probably after 60, you will enjoy. Then I told them, see, till 60 you work hard and earn, and after 60 you get sickness and diseases and spend all the money for the health. Then where do you enjoy life? So therefore the Shastras say, you must work moderately and earn money. You should focus more on saving than more on trying to multiply money very big. Because if you don't save, even if you earn a lot of money, is it useful if you don't save? But for saving, you need spiritual knowledge. Otherwise, you cannot save. Because in this world, there is a tendency for becoming greedy. Because our mind and senses are very uncontrolled. Therefore, we tend to become greedy in this world. Greedy to enjoy. So, those people who are very greedy, eventually you will see they will cross the limit of necessity, and they will go to the side of luxury. They will go from necessity to luxury. They'll go from need to greed. So it is said, when you go from need to greed, you bleed. So bleed means what? You suffer. I'll tell you one example. It'll be easy for you. Like you see the fish is getting abundant food in the water. But when it sees a meaty bait hanging from the top, it immediately goes up to swallow that meaty bait and gets caught by the fisherman's hook. So what is it called as? Greed. He was not satisfied with the need. He got into greed. In the same manner, you will see, sometimes you see in videos, you find, there are elephants living in the forest. They get abundant grass. They get abundant, tons of grass they get to eat in the forest. They have no problem. But sometimes, in some forests, the elephants cross the road and go to the other side of the forest. You've seen that? At that time, some trucks will go carrying sugarcane, a lot of sugarcane. So the truck drivers know very well that these elephants will be standing on the way. So in order to not be troubled with the elephant, they will give him one or two, sugarcane pieces. Some elephants pick it up, thankfully say thank you, and then the fellow goes ahead with his truck. They can go. So Yeah. But some elephants are not satisfied with one or two. They think, why to accept the one or two from these fellows? Better go to the field where there is lot of sugarcane, and then you can feast on sugarcane. And they decide that we will not eat any grass, we will eat only sugarcane daily. It's like a boy eating only gulab jamuns every day. No chapati, no rice, no sambar, nothing. So when they go, like I heard in Belgaum, they had put barbed wires all around the sugarcane field. You know barbed wire? That's very sharp. They put this twisted like this. Two pillars, like a rocky, this kind of rocky pillar, and then they put barbed wires in between. So all the four sides they had covered. The elephant went round and round 3-4 times. Sorry, there is no way to enter inside. What to do? The elephant was thinking of some creative and innovative idea. What he did, in front of two pillars like this, he sat and started pressing like this. It was very hefty body, it has. I started pressing like this and pressing like this. Little by little, practically several hours it took for him to knock those two pillars. Like this, he did. At last, it pushed it down. Now he could cross over the barbed wire. But the problem is, in the course of trying to hit it like this, his back had become bleeding. Back was bleeding. And also when he crossed and went, his legs were tearing in the barbed wires. And the elephant was screaming. So hearing the sound, some fellows came. And they saw elephant is eating. Elephant could eat only 4 or 5 only. By the time they came with a stick and they drove away the elephant. So even though he worked very hard, still he couldn't get to eat the entire sugarcane field. Is it not true? But because his mentality was one of greed, he went from need to greed. So he was bleeding. You see that now, isn't it? So the world is created in such a way that you certainly are entitled for work. Krishna says, Karmanyeva adhikaraste. You have the adhikar to work. You can work. You should work. Definitely. And you should honorably earn the money. That is also allowed, permitted. But when we become greedy in this world, we bleed and we suffer. And we don't enjoy the life the way we aspire to enjoy. Correct, no? Like you go to the shopping malls, many people you find, they purchase so many commodities which actually are not very useful. Like we say, stop and shop until you drop. Until you drop means your pocket is empty, so you drop down. You are flat. So they take a big house and fill up the house with so many unnecessities, as we call it. Nowadays, there is a toothbrush, which is called electric toothbrush for brushing the teeth. You have to go to the bathroom and show your teeth. Like that, the toothbrush it'll go. You don't have to use your hand. So, and also in the same manner, you have this remote for everything, correct, no? There's a remote for the fan, there's a remote for the door to open, remote for the TV, correct, no? For remote for practically everything. Now, in those days, I have seen my mother, she used to have this, grinder with a hand. It's a stone grinder. How many of you seen stone grinder? You've seen, still you have seen in homes? In the village homes you must have seen. And she used to do like this, very heavy. When we were children, small school kids, we could not even move it also. Very heavy it is, but she would be doing like this. She would use that. Another one she will use like this. You've seen that? Therefore, they were very strong. Their body was like steel, those generation people. Now, in this generation, people don't use the hand legs much. What they do? You just put in a machine, just put on the switch. It does, isn't it? So everything is remote. You just press a switch or press a button, and by the time you become 60, 70, people's body is like vegetable because they have not used the body. That time the doctor tells you, now please do some, have some treadmill at home. Treadmill? You have to have treadmill at home. Do cycling. You have to cycle where the cycle doesn't move only. Same place. Same place. In those days, we used to drive a cycle. Now people don't drive a cycle. Therefore, they have to drive cycle at home only. Similarly, they have to move their hand like this. In those days, we used to draw water. Now you have left the drawing water. So what doctor says, do? No. It's a vain work. See, instead of having remote, better that you have a well where every day you do this. That way you will do purposeful work. Correct, no? Purposeful work means you are drawing water. Similarly, take your bicycle and go to college instead of going by car. Then you are also exercising your leg. Instead of having a stationary cycle and moving hand the same place or becoming a vegetable. Some people, even 60, 70 people are like a vegetable. You've seen that? They're called couch potato, we call. Just as, yeah, sitting in one place, watching TV and eating. So you will see that the karma is such a thing that if you, uh, if you don't do work, it will impel you to work in another way subsequently. If you want to, actually, man wanted to escape work for what? For becoming lazy and make machines do everything. That we will not do anything. Correct, no? So he thought that we can relax, but then after relaxing, he realized that material nature will force you to work. You cannot. Nahi kashit chanamapi. Jatu tishtatya karma krit. Krishna says that. Karyate hi avashak karma. Sarva prakriti jairgunai. Actually, you have to work that is destined for you. You have to work. If you escape work, you will be forced to work in this way, as I told you. At the same time, if you overwork and due to greed, then that wealth will not make you happy. That overwork also will make you suffer. That means you work moderately and rest of the time you have to spend time for God. That is why it is kept. Human body, you will see, you eat in the morning, eat in the afternoon, eat at night. But cows, if you see, they eat all day. You will see they're eating grass, then they're eating fodder. They have 6 bellies. You're aware of it? Cows have 6 stomachs. They take in one stomach, they process it, put it in the second stomach, they process it, third stomach, like that, 6 stomachs they have. And that's why they sit in one place and they'll be ruminating. You've seen that? So one time I went to Govardhan village, asked Gaurang Prabhu, hey, these cows are eating all day. Morning they're eating, and then they're going to the field and eating grass. And coming back and eating busa, that yellow hay and all. Whenever I'm sitting there eating, said, then I told him, then he asked me, what about humans? I told him, humans only eat 2-3 times a day. He said. Then I asked him, why is it so? He said, because you have to study Bhagavad Gita. There should be time for chanting Hare Krishna. There should be time for Bhagavad Gita. There should be time to go to temple. Therefore, God has kept only 3 times a day. Balance time, you have time for God also. Unlike the other animals who spend time in eating or sleeping. Polar bears sleep 6 months. Why human beings don't sleep 6 months? Because they have to go to temple. They have to chant Hare Krishna. They have to read Bhagavad Gita. God has kindly given us time for all the activities. You understand, no? So, but a human being is doing activities like animals, then he gets those bodies, animal-like bodies he gets. If imagine somebody is sleeping, 12 hours every day. Then the nature tells him, Hare, I gave you the body for studying Gita and going back to Godhead. You are sleeping 12 hours. Okay, let me give you the body of a polar bear, where you can sleep for a long, long time. Like that. Or somebody is like a glutton, eating too much. So there are many people nowadays eating junk food and getting obesity, you know that? Then the nature tells him, okay, you are only eating. Eating is your only flavor, nothing else. Okay, become an elephant, you can eat a lot. Isn't it? Like when Srila Prabhupada went to Hawaii, he saw one boy playing in water from morning 6 o'clock to afternoon 1 o'clock. 7 hours playing in water with surfing, Prabhupada showed the devotee, same boy we saw in the morning. Till noon he is playing in water. What is he doing? He asked the devotee, said, Prabhupada, he is surfing. What is it? Is he suffering? He asked him. So devotee said, no, Prabhupada, that's called surfing. Prabhupada said, you call it surfing, I call it suffering, he said. Why is he suffering in the water like this? Wasting his time from morning. So Prabhupada said, because he is delighting in playing in water for such a long time, nature will give him the body of a fish. Because nature will tell him, I gave a human body, but you are not doing human work. You are playing in the water. Then who plays in the water? Dolphins. So become a dolphin in the next life. Then one has to be in the water like that. So you will find that in this world, everybody must work, but we have to know the result of our work. That's very, very important to know. Neither Karmavad is glorified, nor Daivavad is glorified. Both are two extreme ends of the pendulum. Daivavad means work hard and enjoy. Karmavad means work hard and enjoy. And Daivavad means just to become lazy, lethargic and depend on the destiny. Both are condemned. What is accepted is you do moderate work and then expect God's grace to bring about the result. Now, while doing the work also, now what quality of work you should do? Because that work is going to bring about your destiny. Therefore, I have written the topic here, carve your destiny. Now, for example, I'll give you a couple of examples which will immediately illustrate to you that in this world also, it's observable phenomenon that the more you align with your boss, your freedom increases. The more you act independent of your boss, the freedom reduces. For example, say a small kid is going to school, parents are giving him some, say, some pocket money, 5 rupees every day. So the boy is taking 5 rupees. So father, mother are watching. What is the boy doing with that 5 rupees? Let us see. So as the boy is growing up, father comes to know that the boy is smoking cigarette. Will he give him money? Because he's misusing the money. So he will tell the wife also, let's not give our son money. He's misusing it. Correct. Immediately the freedom is cut there. Now the boy wants to take money from the bureau. What the father will tell the mother? Lock the bureau. He cannot touch the money from bureau because without our sanction, he will take the money and he will smoke and he will ruin his health. He will not give. And if he is looting some money from father's pocket, shirt pocket, father will scold him. Correct, no? That means he loses the freedom because of misusing it. Correct, no? One time, that's what exactly happened. Well, there was one very big billionaire. Father told him, Beta, I have 500 crores of estates, 500 crores worth estates. I am going to write it in your name. And the son was very happy. Thank you, Papa, he said. And then when father was giving 5 rupees every day he was smoking, the father stopped giving him pocket money. One day the son became envious and angry with the father. One Sunday he was looking at father like this. The father said, Beta, why are you so angry on me? He said, Papa, you are a cheater, he said. Why do you say I'm a cheater? You are not even giving me 5 rupees. You are going to write estates worth 500 crores. Ridiculous, he said. Then the father picked up the son and kept on his lap. And he said, Beta, why am I not giving you 5 rupees? Because if you take this 5 rupees and smoke cigarette, you will die before me. Then how can I write in your name? Therefore, I am not giving 5 rupees, he said. For whose good? For your good only. For your good only, I am not giving you. Then the son understood. Oh, it's as simple as that. Okay, Papa, I'll give up cigarette now. He said. Then again, the father started giving him 5 rupees. Why only 5 rupees? He gave him 10 rupees. Then the son became a gentleman. He gave up all bad habits. He started chanting Hare Krishna also. So then he started, father told him, here's the bureau key, take it. Whenever you want, you can take from the bureau. Then he told his wife, I am planning to open an account in my son's name. Because the son started, even doing some additional work apart from his college studies. And started earning some money. Earn while you learn, you say, no? Then the father said, better here is account. If you want, you can put some money in the account also. And then later on, father wrote up all his money in son's name. That means the freedom is increasing or reducing? Increasing because of the son's alignment with the father. You understand? This is a simple example, isn't it? Like for example, if a cow is purchased from a market, sometimes in the villages it is same. If farmer is bringing a cow, initially the farmer is doubtful about the cow. Is it a good cow or what kind of cow it is? So he gives the cow, say 2 meters length rope. And then he ties the cow to a pole like this. In the house, he's kept it. Now he's watching the behavior of the cow. Sometimes children want to go and play with the cow, touch the cow like this. Some cows are very mild, if you see. Like, Gir guy you have seen from Gujarat, they're very mild in nature. Although their body is very huge, but they are very soft natured. Even if you touch them, they will be just standing without any this thing. But there are some cows, if you go near, you've seen that? With their two horns, they'll do like that. If farmer is watching, the cow is doing like this. What will he do? Will he increase the radius or reduce radius? He'll reduce the radius. Instead of 2 meters, he'll make it 1 meter. So the cow lost his freedom now. Lost her freedom. Reduced it. Now he's going to watch for some more time. If she's still doing it after second day, third day, then he'll reduce it even further also, maybe half a meter or something. That means the ability of the cow to move around and graze the grass reduces by that. On the other hand, think of a cow who was a good, well-behaved cow. The cow is a very mild-natured cow. The farmer is watching. Even my little kid is going and the cow is not harming. Such a wonderful cow. Then he will release the cow and let the cow wander in the compound. Within the compound, grazing the grass and everything. After a week, when his trust level is increased, what he will do? He will even let the cow go out of the compound. Okay, he can go graze and come. Sometimes the cow in villages goes all day out and comes in the evening on its own. You've seen that? Yeah. So he's giving more freedom to the cow. So in the same manner, all of us devotees in our lives, we should know this fact, very important fact. I'm going to bring it up just now, this point. That if you are a human being, 4 things you have to do. All of you repeat after me. Acceptance of God, alignment with God, acting for the pleasure of God, acting on behalf of God. I'll explain these four things. What are they? Acceptance of God. Why should we accept God? You can see the hand of God can be seen in this world by looking at the world around you. I'll just show you. See, nothing comes by chance. What induces the article to come is not chance. God is a supplier. Foolish people cannot perceive the ultimate cause that they, and therefore they call it as chance. For example, if you put some iron filings in the top of a paper and move it with a magnet below the paper, what you see is only the iron filings, isn't it? But what is moving it is the magnet. You don't see the magnet. Similarly, look at the sky, look at the world around you. So many movements are happening. Sun is moving from east to west. Correct. Seasons are changing. Now flowers are blooming. Fruits are ripening. The clouds are showering. Grains and crops are growing from the ground. Is it not true? So many changes are happening. Are you the cause of those changes? Any of you is happening it, making it happen? Are you doing it? How many of you can honestly touch your heart and say that, certainly I am not doing? You are very confident. Correct, no? Imagine if 8 billion population on the surface of the globe, all of us agree that I am not doing. So what is the next question? Who is doing? Good question. Correct, no? So somebody is doing. If I am not doing, you are not doing, none of us are doing. Somebody must be doing it. Not only somebody is doing it, and that is confirmed in Bhagavatam. Madhbhayat vativato yam suryastapati madhbhayat. Varshati indro dahatyagnir mrutyushcharati madhbhayat. Lord says in the Bhagavatam, he says, by my order, the sun is rising and setting. By my order, the fire is burning. By my order, the death is taking its toll. By my order, the rain showers are coming. And all the flowers are blooming, crops are growing. Everything is happening by my order. The Lord is saying that. You will never find in this world, you find one man is living for 3,000 years because, somehow God's a computer mistake, because of it somehow he survived. Till date, he has not died. One person is left out like that. Anybody? Such perfection that every person born in this world has to die one day. You will see that at appropriate time. Similarly, have you ever seen one day sun rising late? 10 o'clock sun is coming. I'm sorry, little thoda late ho gaya. Sun coming. Any day you have seen like that? Huh? We may be late, but the sun is never late. Such precision. See, Earth is revolving around the sun in 365.256 days, up to the third decimal. You can adjust your clock by looking at the movement of the Earth. Such precision. So are we making it move? Are we making these things happen? So because all these movements are just like the movement of iron filings, and some magnet is moving it, and the magnet is the supreme power, supreme intelligence which is moving it. So any sane person with even little intelligence can understand that great miracles are happening all around us. Not only that, these things are not done by you or me, and we are also totally dependent on these things. Like the rain showers from the cloud, we are dependent on that. Can you drink salt water of the ocean? You cannot. Actually, there's abundant water in the ocean, but can you drink it? What will happen if you drink the salt water? What will happen? Okay, if nothing will happen, then why don't we drink it? Huh? Nauseatic you will feel. You feel like vomiting sensation. Okay? And it will not quench your thirst. It will increase your thirst by drinking the ocean water. So God has kept a lot of water, but He has locked it with salt. Then what you have to do? He says that you should take this water and give it to the sun, and then sun will purify that water and give you sweet water. That means salt water of the ocean plus interaction with the sun gives forth sweet water. Correct, no? That means God says that He's showing through the nature that don't try to enjoy things raw. You should actually get them sanctioned by God. The sun and moon are called as like the two eyes of God in this nature. So you will see, without giving to sun, can you get sweet water? You cannot get. Similarly, you will see, for example, in this world, we are taking so many things from God. Like we are taking sunlight and making solar panels and making electricity out of that. Because you are making electricity from solar heat, are you paying money to the sun? Because from there only you're making electricity, no? In fact, people sell electricity to the EB also. You know that? Additional electricity you can also sell it to EB also. You can use it for your house, and if you have excess, you can also sell it. That means you are taking sunlight and making money. Are you giving tax to the sun? So you are taking sweet waters from the clouds. Huh? Like if you get a Bisleri bottle, you have to pay some 10, 15 rupees. Are you paying to the clouds? Is that giving rain? Like for example, you right behind your house, if you throw some papaya seeds, quickly within a week you'll find a papaya coming up. Huh? So when you take that papaya, do we have the ability to create papaya ourselves? We cannot do that. But through the agents of nature, God is giving. Are we giving him anything? Think about it. Therefore it is said, परोपकाराय वहन्ति नद्या परोपकाराय दुहन्ति गौवा परोपकाराय फलन्ति वृक्षा परोपकाराय idam shariram. It is said the rivers are flowing with water and they don't take any money for giving water. The trees like mango trees are giving you mangoes, but they don't take any money from you. The cow is giving you milk, they don't take any money. Sun is giving you sunlight, they don't take any money. The wind is blowing and giving you a nice experience, they don't take any money. You will see like that. In villages, I don't know whether you are aware, in villages expenditure is very, very less. You know that? If you're living in a village, even if you have 1 acre land, a man can live very peacefully with spending just 1,000 rupees monthly. Because in the field only he can put vegetables, fruits, cereals, spices, everything behind his house. Morning he can go and cut vegetables, bring and cook for the day very easily like that. But how is this nature able to give? Can any scientist create these vegetables or fruits or cereals or anything in his laboratory? Can he do that? 1 grain he cannot make. 1 drop of blood a scientist cannot make. Do you know that? Therefore they are coming and asking you, can you please give blood donation camp? They're asking you. Why they want blood donation camp? They want donation from living bodies because they cannot make it. It's not possible. So that means these things are provided by God. We are also watching that these things are being produced. We can't produce. He is producing. And we can't live without them. Can you live without grains? Can you live without fruits and vegetables? Can you live without drinking water? Can you live without sunlight? So we are totally dependent on them. Therefore, for the first step is to recognize the supreme intelligence, God, who is actually producing these things. We are at least seeing the results of what He is giving, but gradually we will understand who He is and how He created the world, why He has created the world. There is a purpose. See, if God is sending all this food and everything, it's not that without a purpose He's sending you. All of you sitting here, see, your father is giving you monthly money, some 15, 20,000 or something like that he may be giving you. For what for he is giving you money? So you do 3 things with that money, correct? You pay for the rent of the house where you stay or the hostel or something. And also you pay for the food, correct? No? And then you also pay for the college fee, correct? No? So is your father sending you to this college without any expectation or with some expectation? What is that expectation? Very simple, all of you know it. That means in 4 years he wants you to go through the course and emerge with a degree and come back and join his business. Similarly, Krishna, Supreme Lord in the spiritual world, He has sent us to this world. He is also sending you food, clothing, shelter. How? Food already I told you just now. Food. And what is the clothing? The material body is the clothing for the Atma. This body itself is called as Vasam Sijirnani Yata Vihaya. No, you know that? Navani Grihnati Naro Parani. Tata Sharirani Vihaya Jirnani Anyani Samyati Navani De. So he says that this body is like a dress. Today you are all wearing one dress. Tomorrow you will throw this and wear another one. Just like you are all changing dress, the Atma is changing bodies. The body is the dress for the Atma. Like that Krishna says. So he is giving us body, which is like the dress. He is giving us food. And he is giving us accommodation also. Where are you sitting now? In which accommodation? Earthly accommodation. Some people have heavenly accommodation. Some people have accommodation in hellish planets below. So that means everybody is given some accommodation to live. Like in a lion lives in a cave in the jungle. They have a place. Ants live in the hole. Everybody has been given some accommodation to live. Correct, no? So we have our food, we have our clothing. So God has given this. Now we are accepting for all these things. But your father is expecting you to complete the course and come with a degree and then join his business. Similarly, what does Krishna, God, expect from you? Graduate from this material world and come back to spiritual world. Come back home, back to God, which is your, this is a perfect plane, this is an imperfect plane. This is an immortal plane, this is a mortal plane. Right now we are in which plane? Mortal or immortal? Right now, mortal. Right now. Mortal means what? You take birth, you grow, the body gradually dwindles, and then the body dies. Again, take one more birth. Correct, no? Why is God putting us from one body, second body, third body, fourth body? It's a very painful situation. Just imagine, for example, somebody is in a jail for 3-4 years, and he's fed up in the jail, breaking the stones. He's very tired, thinking, when will I go home? The police tell him, so today is your day of release. He's very happy. So they release him from this jail, and within half an hour, they send him to another jail. He has to go. Another 2 more years you have to be there. Will he be happy? Similarly, we all are removed from one bodily cage and put in another bodily cage. So the material body is called as bodily cage. First cage, second cage, third cage, fourth cage. So we are fed up. Even Shankara is fed up. He is saying, Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jatare shayanam, eka samsare kaladustare, kripaya pare, pahi murare. He is saying, oh Krishna Murari. He is saying, how many bodies, how many mothers' wombs I have to occupy? Every time 9 months you are inside the mother's womb. And then when you take birth, you have to get old, you have to get diseases, you die. So this is going on, this type of taking. But why is God is putting us? Anybody can say going from one body, second body, third body, fourth body. What is God doing tamasha with us? Why is He putting us through all these things? We can say. Any of you? Yeah, he's saying some people don't complete degree in 4 years, so they are given more number of years. Fifth year, sixth year, seventh year, eighth year, isn't it? So yeah, that is true. In the human form of life, we are supposed to purify the heart and then perfect our life and go back to God. But some people don't perfect it. Then they are given one more chance, and then second chance. Just like if you fail in a paper, are you allowed to go to the next year, or you are not allowed? You're not allowed, huh? One paper also if you fail. You can. Oh, then you have to wait for 1 year. Like that, yeah. So if somebody has failed in 3-4 papers and he is not able to pass all of them, then he has to wait for 1 more year, correct, no? Then he clears and then he goes. Correct, no? Like that. So in this, there is some system of giving you a second opportunity. Correct, no? And then 1 more year, again you are allowed to write. That means even if a person fails in every semester, also one paper, two papers, still he can finish all 8 semesters and get the degree eventually, correct, no? Eventually he will get. So in the same manner, God is giving you multiple bodies, just like a sculptor is taking a chisel and hammer, tuck, 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 hits and brings out a beautiful murti out of it, correct, no? From a marble block. Like that, God is removing unwanted things from us and He is bringing out a beautiful personality, which is naturally the spiritual form which you all have. So sometimes it takes many, like first life, 20% you became purified, 80% not yet pure. Then next life you start from 21%. You became 60% pure. Then third life you start from 61%. It is like an irreversible ratchet. You know, irreversible ratchet. It's you keep on progressing and the progress is never lost. Like right now you're all sitting and hearing what I'm speaking because you have got some Purva Janma Punya, due to which you're able to understand what I'm speaking. Why the whole college is not coming and sitting? They can't understand, many people. They are just blinking. Because they have no punya at all. Kshina punyan. If you have done some sukriti, just like for example, for you to get into NIT first year or second year, how many years of study you have done? Without that background, will you understand the subjects here? You won't be able to understand. Can an LKG child directly come to NIT? No, you have to go. Similarly, in the Purva Janma, whatever you have done, Bhakti Sukriti, that is right now helping you to understand this subject matter. Then therefore, if you have done 60%, start from 61. And then in this life, you can finish 100% purification. Then you don't come back here. Then you go to the spiritual world. You have a question? Yeah. Now give the mic to.
As we are the part of the God, then why God send us for this purification process again, and then we again meet to the God?
Correct. Good question it is. Very good question. You see, the rainwater is pure. But when the rainwater touches the ground, it becomes impure. It becomes muddy. Similarly, we are originally God's child, but God is big, we are small. God can never get contaminated, but we can get contaminated because of being very tiny. Like for example, Yeah, if you put one bucket of water in sun, can it affect the sun? Sun will evaporate it. But if one spark of fire falls in the water bucket, it can get extinguished because it is very tiny. Correct, no? Similarly, we are very tiny, so we have a tendency to get conditioned when we turn away from God. But if you are with God, you will never, become impure. When we turn away from Him, then we become. For example, in a fire, also sometimes there is coal, red hot coal. In touch with fire, the coal is red or black. In touch with fire, red. But sometimes the coal, it falls outside the fire. And at a distance, when it falls there, it becomes is red or black. Black. That is our problem. When we are in touch with Him, we are also glowing exactly like God because we are in touch with Him. But if you disconnect from Him and turn your back to Him, that is where all problem starts. Like if you look at the sun, there is no shadow. But you look away from the sun, show your back to the sun and see, there you find shadow. In God, there is no dosh, there is no fault. But when you turn your back to God, then all envy, anger, greed, all those problems come. So right now, what we are trying to do is instead of turning our back to Him, we are turning towards Him, and then you're going towards Him. Then gradually all these impurities will be washed away. And all the religions talk about that we are like. I'll show you one little. Sorry, in case you haven't seen this, prodigal son, just a minute. See this, it will become clear.
A man had 2 sons. The younger son told his father,
"Father, I want my share of your estate now, before you die."
So his father agreed to divide his wealth between his sons. A few days later, this younger son packed all his belongings and moved to a distant land. And there he wasted all his money in wild living.
Throw them again!
About the time his money ran out, a great famine swept over the land and he began to starve. He persuaded a local farmer to hire him, and the man sent him into his fields to feed the pigs. The young man became so hungry that even the pods he was feeding the pigs looked good to him, but no one gave him anything. When he finally came to his senses, he said to himself, "At home, even the hired servants have food enough to spare, and here I am dying of hunger." He wasted everything his father gave him. While he had the job of feeding the pigs, the young man became so hungry that even the pods he was feeding the pigs looked good to him. The But no one gave him anything. Finally, he came to his senses and said,
My father's workers have plenty to eat, and here I am starving to death. I will go to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against God in heaven and against you. I am no longer good enough to be called your son. Treat me like one of your workers.
But when he was still a long way off, his father saw him and felt sorry for him. He ran to his son. And he hugged and kissed him.
Hurry and bring the best clothes.
Yeah. So you saw, no? You understood the story, no? So just like the second son became rebellious son and took the wealth and went to faraway place and squandered all the wealth, and then he came to his senses, and then he came back to his father. In the same manner, of course, the first son was an obedient son, correct, no? Those who are obedient children of God never leave the spiritual world. They stay there. And those of us who have made the wrong choice, therefore, in the beginning of the talk, I told you, I gave you a couple of examples like the good cow and the bad cow, no? And the good son and the bad son. So, if a son is a bad son, he was smoking, has he got a future or he has no future? Has he got a future or he has no future? Because he has become bad son, he is labeled as bad son forever? No, he has a chance again. Huh? Now he understands the intention of the father, and then he gives up his bad activities. Then he can turn back to his father. Therefore, I told you, first is acceptance of God. Second one is alignment with God. What is meaning of alignment with God? Alignment with God means there are three types of karma. Good karma, bad karma, spiritual karma. So good karma, for example, means it's like following the traffic laws. Like you see red signal, you stop your car. Green signal, you move the car. In India, when you are driving, you keep the car to the left or right? Left. In America, when you are driving, keep the car to the... So you are faithfully following all the rules and regulations. But you ask the person, where are you going? He has no destination. He keeps going round and round. Most of the good people in India, pious boys coming from good families also, be good, do good, they do that. But they are not committing sin. They live according to what they treat all women like mother. They don't smoke, they don't drink. It's good. But they are not very clear about the ultimate goal of life. Correct, no? Then there is bad karma. Like, for example, 4 bad karmas are said in the Shastra. Like illicit sex. Illicit sex means sex before marriage or sex outside marriage. That is illicit sex. And meat eating, killing unnecessarily goats and chicken and cows and everything. And intoxication, like smoking, drinking, drugs. And gambling. Like you saw this fellow gambling. Correct, no? So these 4 things, if somebody is breaking, that means he is committing sinful activities. Correct, no? So that's called vikarma, we call it. So it's karma and vikarma. And third one is called akarma. A karma we call it, or akarma we call it. It's spiritual karma. That means acting on God's account. Correct, no? Then you become free from the cycle of birth and death. Right now you are coming for these classes. Today's class you heard. You are hearing about God. So this is coming in spiritual karma. Karma. You're chanting Hare Krishna comes in spiritual karma. Reading Bhagavad Gita comes in spiritual karma. Anything you do in his account. Like Arjuna was fighting the war on whose account? Krishna's account. Duryodhana was fighting war on whose account? His own account. Therefore he was entangled. Whereas Pandavas were liberated. Correct, no? So in this way, first thing I told you, acceptance of God. You accept God's authority, that as God is the creator of this world and he has provided me everything. I am grateful to him. I am thankful to him. And I will do whatever he says. And I will not act against his interests. Just like you all have respect for your father. Correct, no? Like even when you are in the hostel here, even if a boy tells you to smoke or drink, will you do that? You will not do, because you fear that, oh, father will be displeased. I should not displease him. I will lead a clean life. There are so many boys watching blue films. They want to go to prostitutes. They want to smoke. They want to drink. And you will not do that. because you have respect for your father. Correct, no? And you know that poor father is sending money. I should not misuse his money. I should use this money and get my degree properly. Correct, no? In the same manner, people who become godly, those are faithful to God, they know that, oh, God has given Bhagavad Gita and scriptures like that so that I can know what is the right path, what is the wrong path. I will have the Viveka Buddhi and walk the right path. Correct, no? And you can easily learn the right path when you come in a good association like we all are coming here. Correct, no? So acceptance of God, alignment with God, and then acting for the pleasure of God. How can you act for the pleasure of God? There are various ways, like you are chanting Hare Krishna is also acting for the pleasure of God. Living a clean life, pure life, that is also acting for the pleasure of God. Correct, no? A, B, C, D, E. You all know that. A for association. B for which books? Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavatam. And C for chanting. And D for which diet? Yeah, prasadam diet. It's called as sanctified diet. And E for etiquettes and good behavior, proper sadachar, good behavior. Or engagement, we call it, seva engagement, doing some seva. So this is ABCD. That means you are aligning with God. If you lead a life according to this. So acceptance of God, alignment with God, acting for the pleasure of God. Alignment with God means following the Shastra. And acting for the pleasure of God means there are many things that you all are doing. One of the things that you can do as a student now, you are coming here, learning the knowledge, and going. Now in future also, there are many more students who will come here. Correct, no? To learn. You can be instrumental in helping those students to get the same wisdom what you all received in your life. So how can you do that? You can assist these people here by, say, offering, for example, some sponsorship for the books, which can be kept for the future devotees who will become devotees here. Correct, no? Like this beautiful center here has been running for many years, and many students graduated from here and went all over the world. Now they are all writing mails back saying that we are very grateful for what training we got in our college days. So in company, if you are working, say whatever salary you get, if you are getting 50,000 salary, 5,000 is removed by the company. They call it as TDS. You know that? TDS means tax deducted at source, they call it. Which means it doesn't come to you at all. They tell you your 50K salary, you get only 45. Similarly, you can do another TDS, Transcendental Devotional Service. Maybe you can remove another 2,000 or 3,000 from that and keep aside. And you use only 42,000. Instead of 45,000, use 42,000. 2,000-3,000 you give it for, prasadam distribution or books distribution or running a center like this, so that more people can get Krishna consciousness. So that is also service to God, one type of service to God. And whatever, like I told you, we are receiving so much from God. What are we doing anything for Him? Think about it. Like there's a saying in English, God gives and forgives. We get and forget. We just receive. We are in the receiving end. Same thing we do with mother also, no? When we go home, we tell the mother, you wash my clothes. And we also eat food. People don't ask, what do you want? And mothers also don't expect also anything. But how many of you feel it is our duty to do something for the mother and father? You feel that? That we should feel or they should ask? We should feel. Naturally, we should feel. Same thing with God also. He is such a paropakar person. He is going on giving everything through nature. Where liberally he is giving. So we have to do something in back. So acceptance of God, alignment with God, acting for the pleasure of God, acting on behalf of God means like you become, tomorrow when you get married as husband and wife, when you beget children, then you should act as an ideal parent. Tomorrow you join a company and you become a leader of the company or unit head or something, then you become ideal leader in the company. Or you are going to some college, you become a director of the college, then you become like a Rajarshi king. That's just like Yudhishthira Maharaj was a great king, Parikshit Maharaj or Arjuna. You become such a leader that you will be a religious leader, which means like a Rajarshi means a saintly leader. And then you represent God to the people below you. That's the meaning of acting on behalf of God. Understand, no? So in this way, by doing these 4 things, you will do spiritual karma, which is free from any kind of bad reactions. There is no reactions at all. It actually produces spiritual effect. And that completely sanctifies you. Just like iron rod put in fire becomes very fiery. And that fiery rod can actually burn a paper or cotton. Correct, no? Similarly, your activities become completely dedipyaman, very, very divya, divine they become. And those divine activities will elevate you back to Godhead without much effort. In Bhagavad Lord Krishna doesn't say you give up all your work and go to Himalayas and plug your nose or stand upside down. He doesn't say that. He says, "Kuch chodna nahi hai, sab jodna hai." Connect all your activities to God. You're eating food, three things you should take care. All of you repeat after me. Sanction, sanctified, regulated. These three things you should do in everything you do in life. For example, what is sanctioned food? Who can say? No, sanctioned food is vegetarian food. And what is sanctified food? Prasadam. That is, sanctified means divya, holy. And what is regulated food? Okay, even if there is a samosa prasadam, can you eat 20 samosas? Regulated means eating moderately. Maybe you can take 2 or 3 or 4 samosas, but you can't eat 2 dozen samosas, correct? No? We should be regulated. Similarly, everything. For example, what is sanctioned in, can a man marry a woman or everybody has to be brahmachari only? Can a man marry? Yes, he can marry. That is sanctioned. And what is sanctified marriage? That means husband and wife decide that outside this married life we will not indulge in sex. That means it's they both are chaste to each other. And also they agree to become devotees. That means it is sanctified marriage. So there is sanctioned marriage, there is sanctified marriage. And what is not sanctioned marriage, like Ravana pulling the hand of Sita, that is not sanctioned. And that is condemned. Correct, no? So sanctioned, sanctified. What is regulated marriage? Regulated marriage means husband and wife actually don't lavishly live their life without saving money, and they lavishly spend, extravagantly spend, and they have no time for Krishna. That is unregulated life. Money, 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 money is honey. They have time, all the time for money, and they have no time for God. That is unregulated life. Correct, no? In the same manner, you can talk about everything. For example, you want to possess a house. Yes, you can possess. You have the adhikar. But you should not encroach on others' property. So sanctioned means what? That you possess house in your own land, or your father has given some inheritance, you accept that. What is sanctified house? You make altar like this, beautiful altar for Radha Krishna Gaurnitai in your house. And then every day you do puja, offer flowers to Lord and agarbatti to Lord, bow down to him every day. That means it's a sanctified house. It is not only sanctioned, it is also sanctified. And what is a regulated house? A regulated house means people are not only gratifying their senses, because in every house you find they have TV, they have movie, they have party, they have all kinds of activities. But some houses, they do all those things and they forget God. That means unregulated house. Regulated house means people sleep early and rise early and they chant in the morning, they read Bhagavad Gita, they go to job, they do everything in a regulated way. Regulated house. You all understand what I'm saying? So you can easily understand that Krishna consciousness gives you a very beautiful lifestyle. The lifestyle which actually can make you happy in this world and happy in the next world also. So when we talk about the fate and free will, it is not very rigid. I am going to conclude my talk. I'll just show you one article. I can give this article so that see, this is published in which magazine? By Linda Johnson. It's published in, it's copyright from Yoga International. So that means you agree it's authentic article? What do you say? It's published in the international magazine. So here you will find, I'll show you one interesting thing for you. See here, your destiny isn't written in stone. It's a living thing that changes subtly as your level of consciousness changes. For example, how is your destiny? It is like a traffic signal. Say, when you are going in your car, if you see a red signal, the red signal, is it catching and stopping your car? You cannot go ahead. It is actually giving you indication that you should make a conscious choice of stopping your car. For whose good? For your own good. Otherwise, you have to pay a fine. Correct, no? So, when the red signal comes, first thing what you do, you see the red signal and you make a conscious choice. I'm going to stop the car. And then you exercise your leg by applying the brake. Correct, no? And for doing that, what do you have to do? In order for you to do these 3 steps, that means to see the signal and make a choice to stop the car and then press the brake and stop the car. For you to be able to do this, what is required? While driving the car, you should not be thinking of something else. Huh? If you are unconsciously driving the car, when all other people will stop the car, you will be driving ahead. And then you'll have to pay the heavy fine. Correct? No? That means you will find that the destiny brings forth many things in your life. If you are conscious, you can transcend what is written in destiny. I will show you, for example. See here, read this one, somebody. According to the yoga tradition, karma comes in 3 strengths. It's called as adrida, drida, drida, drida. 3 things. So adrida means those karmic reactions which are very mild. You can change them in your life. And then there is drida. Drida means it is strong, but still it is possible to change. And last one, drida, is the one which you cannot change. That is only about 20% only. 10-20% of your karma is unchangeable. But the other 70-80% is changeable. You will see now. Read this.
According to the yoga tradition, karma comes in 3 strengths. First, there is the karma that is easy to change. For example, if you sign up for a course in a vegetarian cooking but then decide you had rather take a meditation class, you can switch courses quite easily. Second, there is a karma that can be altered only with substantial effort. If you graduate with a degree in law, but then decide you had rather be a doctor instead, you can go back to college and get a medical college. But it will cost you a lot of time and money. The vast majority of karma playing out in our lives falls into these 2 categories. The third type of fixed karma. These are the lessons we cannot get out of the experiences. We must undergo for the sake of our spiritual growth. Some individuals are born to fame, the children of royalty, for example, or to wealth. They have to deal with the issues this karma brings with it, whether they like it or not. Others may intentionally have to go through traumatic event like the loss of loved one or a serious accident of illness. Only a small portion of our total karma is unalterable, however.
So 3 types of karma, you understood it? Like the first type of karma is very superficial karma. You can easily change it. For example, you are, say somebody is going to a beer bar in the ground floor. Suddenly, he gets to see a yoga, yoga studio on the top. He thinks, let me go, let me see what it is. So instead of going to the ground floor, he goes to yoga studio and there's a class going on. How bad drinking is, how bad smoking is. One has to give up all these things. Instead, one should do meditation, one should do pranayam, one should keep the body fit, one should not put horrible substances into the body. When he hears all these things, then he changes his mind. Now, instead of going and drinking, now he learned what not to do. Correct, no? So as easy as that, you can change certain karmas. That means it's all simply your choice. And the choice you make based on good association. You can remember triple A. What is it? Association, activity, attitude. Association means, right now you have come in good association. So you're doing a good activity of hearing something from Gita. And then you develop a good attitude. Correct, no? Or if you don't come here, you go to some bad association. There you do bad activity you do. And there you develop bad attitude. Correct, no? So therefore, if you remember these 3 A's, it's very easy to change many of your karmas like this. Basically, how many of you see that your mind is in 2 minds? One mind says do bad, another part of the mind says do good. How many of you experience? Correct, no? Yeah. So at that time, if you stick to good association, you will choose good. Therefore, make sure you have good association to choose the good, so that part of the bad karma can be changed. And how you are changing karma? When God sees that you already made a right choice, then He removes the punishment. And there's no need now. Correct, no? If somebody goes to teacher and admits, Madam, I have not done the homework because a lot of guests came in my home. I'm sorry. Give me one more day. I'll do it tomorrow. Then there's no punishment because you already admitted. On the other hand, when teacher is asking, who else hasn't done the homework? One fellow hasn't done the homework. He is saying, no, madam, I have completed. Madam is asking, really? Where is your notebook? Sorry, I forgot to bring notebook. He says, madam is a little doubtful. She's calling the mother of the boy. Has he done the homework? And the mother is seeing the notebook and saying, no, he hasn't done homework. The teacher, now teacher will be angry or not? So therefore, those who are mischievous, they get punishment. If you are honest in making the right choice, then that karmic reaction is removed for you. Then there is a second level where you have committed some mistake, you have gone ahead in some direction. Now you have to come back. For example, your friends took you to some dirty blue film or some movie, you went and watched, you developed a bad thing, and then now they are saying, come, let's go for smoking. And they are smoking, you are coughing, you are not happy. You know that there is something bad happening with me. My mother, father will not like it. At that time, is it possible for you to come out? Yeah, but with this friendship, become thick friendship you have developed. And they are not living it. Chalo yaar, hotel mein jate hain yaar, chalo yaar, pee kar aate hain, chalo yaar, smoke. Like that, they are calling you here and there. And you are 4, 5 of you, always going together, coming together. You got very close. Now, how many of you feel that it is not impossible to get out of that bad association? It's not impossible, correct, no? It is possible. You can, but you'll have to put a lot of effort because they will not leave you very easily. Because they want company for doing wrong things, correct, no? So then what you have to do, you have to go to temple and pray to God, please save me, I'm getting into wrong track, my parents will be very unhappy. So intelligent boys, what they do, they understand that I am going in the wrong path. At least at that time, they make a change. That is like the second type of karma. Drida means it is slightly difficult, but not impossible. You can change. There are certain habits you have cultivated, you can change. Third thing is drida. These are prejudices. Like, for example, my opinion is the best opinion. Some people are very proud. I was the first one to do this. Nobody else can do this. I am very indispensable. I am very great. I am very smart. I can never commit a mistake. In this field, there is nobody like me. This kind of things. They are extremely proud. So how God removes this kind of pride? He has to shake them up and bring them to sanity. How he does? Suddenly, sometimes one faces an accident, car accident or something. Like that, here he falls, and then he has broken his tooth and hands are broken, legs are broken, and admitted in a hospital. You will find sometimes he become more humble now after that, like that. You've seen that. So for some people, that kind of heavy treatment is required for shaking them up and making them humble. That is due to our own arrogant behavior only. Yeah, there are. So there are certain karmic reactions which are drida, which are difficult to, like traumatic events. He's saying loss of loved one and other things. Actually, why God is allowing us to undergo the traumatic event? Because we have to come to maturity. You can't be a proud person and still go back to God. It's not possible. Or you can't be, too much elated and too much getting psychosomatic depression, and life of imbalance is not good. So God wants us to bring us to balance everything. So He gives such opportunity. So here He says here, Vedic astrology does not tell us what will happen in our future. It tells us what might happen unless we consciously act to prevent or modify it. You understand, no? That means the Vedic astrology tells you, hey, you have a bad karmic reaction coming and that is on the way. You are going towards it. Now you make a conscious attempt. ये गाड़ी भी गड्ढे में गिरने वाला है गिरने वाला है नहीं तुमको राइट लेना है if you take right it will not fall. That much shastras are giving you, but some people even after hearing shastras still they don't follow. Correct ना? Still they say बोला कि गड्ढे में गिरने वाला है इसलिए जाकर गिरेंगे हम भी foolishly. You can change your destiny. So you can that's why he says here, you say write your own horoscope. He says you can write, actually it's possible. The Vedic astrology, the planets merely signal the time when karmic debts and credits come due. They don't actually cause any event to take place. Think of a traffic light. It signals when it is time for us to stop or go, but it is our stepping on the brake or accelerator that makes the car move. For example, if your friend becomes angry on you and insults you, if you are an intelligent person in Sattva Guna, you can choose your response, how to respond back to him. But if you are in Rajaguna, can you choose your response? No. You will blurt out something that will break the friendship. But in case you act in Sattva, you know that I like this friend, he's a good fellow. Today he's not in a good mood. आज कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया इसके दिमाग में है, चलो adjust कर लो. Then he will remain your friend for whole life. So therefore, for you to make choice, you have to come to proper choice, you have to come to Sattva-guna. So Rajoguna, Tamoguna, we have to come to Sattva-guna. Otherwise, we lose relationships, we break relationship even in family or friendships and everything. Therefore, he's saying the horoscope is in fact just a symbolic representation of the forces in play in our unconscious. But because the universe was projected out of a limitless cosmic mind, yogis say that the thoughts and symbols are in a sense as real as physical things. And that is why not only actions but also thoughts produce karma. A symbolic representation like a horoscope can be helpful. It's like a road map. That's what these are three things I told you. Adrida, drida, drida, drida. Adrida means flexible karma, which can easily change with a little effort. And drida, drida means karma we can change if we use considerable self-effort. And drida means karma which cannot be changed by human effort. Only God can alter the fixed karma. That means Krishna, God can actually change your destiny. Like Arjuna was supposed to enter fire when he could not kill Jayadratha. But Krishna blocked the sun and made it appear like as if night has come. So then Duryodhana told Jayadratha, come out Jayadratha, let us all see the fun of Arjuna entering into fire. Then Jayadratha came, ha 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 ha, he was laughing and coming and jumping in the front. And Krishna told Arjuna, cut off his head and send it to his father sitting far away in one place, put it on his lap, he said. But Arjuna said, but Krishna, I will be criticized by these people as a coward because, it is still evening. Krishna said, I already blocked the sun, don't worry. He said, hit him. When Arjuna, immediately sent the arrow. Immediately. So they were shocked. On Kaurava's side, there were shouts, coward, Arjun. He had taken a vow to kill Jayadratha before the sun set. Now the sun has already set. Still he is sending an arrow to kill. Fire upon you. Like that they were shouting. At that time Krishna removed the chakra. Then the sun came. Then Kauravas were shocked. Kya hua, kya hua? Just in one moment he changed the destiny. You can see that. So therefore, if God wants to change your destiny, can anybody stop it? Nobody can stop it. Therefore, it is in our interest that we align with Him. And when He is pleased with our behavior, because ultimately sun and moon are moving by His order. Everything in this world is moving by His order. He can change. Therefore, all the Arjuna, when he had to choose, he chose Krishna on his side. He didn't choose the Narayana Sena. He knew that. 10,000 Narayana Sena, I don't want, he said. I want only one Krishna because he knows the control of everything is in this personality's hands. He knew that. So, that's why it is said, Jayastu Panda Putranam Yesham Pakshe Janardana. It is said. Pandavas emerged victorious because Krishna was on their side. Therefore, he brought over. So, therefore, the Drida Karma can also be changed if God interferes in it. If Krishna is pleased with you, like if you are an arrogant person and some bad karma is coming in your account, you became a Krishna devotee and you chanted Hare Krishna, you became humble. Then God thinks, this fellow is supposed to be punished, but he has already become humble. Why to punish? A humble person doesn't require punishment, so he'll be forgiven. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami mashja. Krishna says that. So in this way, you can carve your destiny. It is in your hands. That's the answer to this question. So actually, you may wonder only one slide only. Prabhuji was showing it last year. It's a big slideshow is there. Actually, there is a slideshow, but I didn't get time to show. See, in this world, so many. Even to make an artificial flower, you need paper color and all that. And what to speak of delicate rose flower and everything is made by God. Nothing comes by chance. That's the point here. Even if you say you got good luck by which you cracked the exam, there must be a good luck awarder. Correct, no? When you join a company, your promotion comes from the sky or somebody is a promoter is promoting you. Correct, no? If you get promotion in the company, somebody is awarding promotion. Similarly, good luck also God is awarding you. And good luck, bad luck, there should be a giver of that. There's a pre-arrangement. Yeah. Like you see, some people are rich. Some see this fellow, how poor. Some are handsome. See here. Some are very strong. Some are weak and handicapped. Some are born to rich parents, as I told you, right from birth. Some are, see how they are born, impoverished. Some becomes a doctor or engineer. Some become savvy, it's coolie. The child is born with silver spoon. See how comfortable he is riding in a car, right from the beginning. See these children. So that means, everybody is, so we choose a job and all these things, You can choose a job, you can choose spouse, you can choose type of car. But any of you, did you choose your parents? You chose parents, or you were born into certain parents? Born certain parents. Did you choose your face cut? Did you cut your face, or God cut face and gave you? Isn't it? You didn't choose your intelligence. There are people more intelligent than you. There are people less intelligent than you. Correct, no? That means, according to our Purva Janma Karma, we are given a particular type of body. That's the point it says. Who chooses on what basis? Huh? So, there are physical laws, chemical laws, thermodynamic laws, everything. So, yeah, many scientists are talking about the laws. Huh? See, there's a perfect brain behind all the natural physical laws, Albert Einstein says. Yeah. So, in the same manner, it's getting late now. Yeah, just I'll finish it in 5 minutes. Yeah. Whatever state of being remembers, okay. One last point I'll show him. See, these are the activities I showed you. Somebody is indulging in sinful activities, that's vikarma, and they're getting suffering. Sinful life. See, like this fellow is eating all nasty things, becoming a pig. This fellow is doing balatkar to a woman, becoming a dog, you see. So they are suffering all these things due to bad karma. And if you read responsible lives, austerity, sacrifice, chanting Hare Krishna, studying Bhagavad Gita, all these things, associate saintly people, then you go up towards back home, back to Godhead. So life is made of choices, and choices decide the future. So one last slide I will show you. What is destined? Past actions create your present destiny, and your present action will determine your future destiny. Just like last month you worked in a job, at the end of the month they give you salary. And whatever work you do this month, they will give you salary next month beginning. It's like that only. It's very simple to understand. What is not destined? How you will use all the resources given to you. Like Alakur Manikri were given a handsome body and son of Kuvera because of the Purva Janma Punya. But now they use the body well or misuse the body? Misuse the body. So Ambarish Maharaj also became king of the world because of Purva Janma they must have done. But in this life he rightly used the body. So we should know how to use properly and then make a bright future for ourselves. Shri Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much.